Everyone, Arlene here. Welcome back to my Country Craft Corner. How in the world are you guys doing today? It is so good to see you again. And thank you so much for stopping back by to see what I'm up to. And what I'm up to today is to truly give you guys a huge thank you. Thank you. Number one, for every single sweet message, for every word, for every heart, for every hug, for everything that you guys have sent to me after the passing of our sweet Uncle Don. Thank you guys so much. So much. Every single word I have read and taken it to my heart. Again, whether it's in Facebook or whether it's on YouTube, please know when you see my heart show up, you'll know that I saw it. And I appreciate every single one, every single sentiment. Thank you so much. They mean the world. They mean the world. It has been a rough week, but yesterday we had our celebration of life for Uncle Don, his funeral. For, you know, we prefer to say it was a celebration of his life, and it was a life well lived. And, sorry, I was fine before I turned start. It's like, you know, when I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but this really shows how much I care for you guys, because I remember, like, for instance, when I would call my mom and I was upset for some reason, and I would call her and I'd hear her voice on the phone, you know, and then I would just go to a puddle of nothing tears before I could even get out, and she'd say, "It's okay, honey, just take a deep breath. It'll be okay. I'm right here," you know, and that's what you guys in effect said to me. It's okay, Arlene, take the time you need, take time off. We're here, we'll be here for you whenever you feel like you can come back. So I'm coming back today simply to say thank you. I have a patriotic haul that I will come back with next week, but I also have something I want to share with you, and I have a couple of questions that I want to answer that have been lingering. One specific one that I really want to answer in person here to a new YouTube creator. So I do want to get to that. But my uncle was, to tell you a little bit about him, he was a pastor. He was the best pastor I ever saw in my life. I'm telling you, he could grab a hold of your heart and your mind and in a sentence, you know, and this is the way he started every sermon that he ever preached.
The first thing I always start this service off with is this. Let's do it, okay? Do you love the Lord? Amen. Do you love one another? Amen. Would you look at somebody you love? I've hugged a few people this morning.
Isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome? I mean, he is just, unfortunately, I'm not good. I out of deference to my family and out of, you know, respect to them, I just can't share, you know, more video snippets of us singing. My dad played his clarinet. He played 7 of my Uncle Don's favorites, the 3 and 4 brothers. 3 brothers would travel when they were younger, and then the 4th brother joined in when he got old enough. There was a good bit of difference in age between my dad and the youngest, you know, and but Uncle Don touched thousands and thousands and thousands of people's lives. He did so many weddings and so many funerals, and he was also a poet. And he married Chris and myself. He was my home pastor. Was so sweet and so humble when I asked him, "Would you please mind stepping inside?" We got married in our home church, you know, where my dad goes to church still. But I you know, asked my home pastor if he wouldn't mind if Uncle Don stepped in to marry us, you know, and he was so humble and said, of course. And of course, he and Uncle Don knew one another. So Uncle Don married us, but he also officiated at my mom's celebration of life. And I'm going to share with you, if I can get through it, the poem that he wrote and read at Mom's funeral. And this will just give you a little bit of a flavor of the kind of gentleman he was. And as I've told you all before, you know, my dad and his 3 brothers next to Chris are the best of the best of the best to me, you know. Fine, upstanding, good Christian men who set an example for their entire family and each branch of the family, you know. And I'm so lucky to be a part of this family. I really am. I'm sorry. I hope that person who doesn't like to see me cry isn't watching today. I'm sure she'll make a comment somewhere. Whatever. My heart is so full, though. It was so good to see all of my cousins, and my dad, of course, was there, as I said, and, you know, my other uncle was there. All of my cousins were there. All of us were there. It's not often that we can get all of us, you know, together. And all of our husbands and some of the kids, my kids did not go. A lot of the kids of the cousins' kids did not go because simply they had to work, you know. And if it's not an immediate family, you know, sometimes folks can't get off. So my girls didn't go, but they sure did love their Uncle Don. It wasn't because they didn't love him, you know, they had to work. So it was a wonderful day, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Of course, we wore masks and we had to social distance and this, and, you know, we did all that. And I will admit that I sat in the car during the graveside. I didn't go to the graveside. You know, we did the program in the church. We had a program. We put on some funerals, you guys. And, you know, and then they had a very short graveside service because it was cold. It was cold up there in West Virginia, you know, it's where we were, in the mountains of West Virginia. And it looked like a different place. There weren't any leaves on the trees up there yet. We went up in elevation, you know, so there weren't any leaves on the trees or anything. So it was cold and windy, and my knee, it was where his grave was, is very uneven ground, and my knee is better, much better. And I thought it would be worse today because I walked around all day yesterday, you know, hugging it up and down and over and around, and oh my goodness, I was walking everywhere. And I thought, oh, I've had it. I'm going to set myself back. But I woke up this morning and thank the Lord, it's okay. You know, it's no worse. I wouldn't say it's better than it was when I started the day yesterday, but it certainly isn't worse. And it was way better from the last time I saw you guys. It is way better than then. I'm still being careful. I'm still, you know, babying it a bit, but it is getting better and better and better. Thank goodness. So anyway, I thought now that I've talked a little bit, maybe I can get through this poem without being a blithering idiot so you can hear my uncle's words. So he called it one. Now you have to understand, remember, my mom and dad and grew up on the same street, right down the street from one another. And of course, Uncle Don was my dad's older brother. So with that in mind, here we go. One sweet, beautiful gal is what he called it. My acquaintance with Sandra began many years ago. We lived out the street from her. It was only a stone's throw. I loved her family, her brother Holly, her dad, and her mother. As time went on, I knew in my heart she was destined to marry Dave, my brother. Back then they were called the good old days, and we cherished them in our heart. For sure, and even today, those dear memories still linger, and they will never depart. You see, there, all the people knew each other and shared their love, that was for sure. Why, I know some of them who were neighbors, and they married the gal next door. Life was so wonderful there with all of the happiness and joys. We were blessed to have in that community a lot of girls and boys. Now, the houses, they were very close. Remember, I told you they were double, duplex houses, and were cause for many a thrill. But no matter what happened there in our lives, it was home, and it was called Luke Hill. I have been blessed with 3 wonderful brothers, Bob, Gary, and Dave. And it was he who lovingly to Sandra his heart he truly gave. I was there and took part in their wedding over 50 years ago. God certainly sanctioned that union and wanted everyone to know. There was one sweet, beautiful daughter that God brought into their life. As time went on, Arlen met Chris and she became his wife. Now that they have become 2 families and 2 granddaughters with 2 granddaughters, and because God's blessings have been upon them, we can say their marriages were made in heaven. Here, our lives become a story that is not yet complete, but the last chapter will be written in heaven one day, a story that cannot be beat. Our battles and struggles are many, but God will be by our side, and he will never leave us, not forsake you. He will constantly abide. We shall never forget the last day in her room when the family and the staff gathered round. We prayed, we wept, and we sang all those hymns. It was just a beautiful heavenly sound. We gave praise and sincere thanks to the Golden Living Center for their tender, loving care. For every staff member that loved and took care of Sandra, it was like home, and she loved all of you there. We have been given a great heritage in life by a loving mom and dad. They have left us with some of the greatest examples, the best we have ever had. Let the memories of the past be present, and they will help us to never go wrong. And when the tough times in life come our way, they will help to keep us strong. Life is a wonderful gift from God, and it is given by his divine love. You can be sure of one thing, that is certain, it comes straight down from above. Let's remember the family that God has given to you and me. As a loving Savior, we can reject him and be lost, or we can accept him and be free. We so much love Sandra, and today here she has finished the race. And now has a glimpse of heaven, and it comes only by God's grace. She now has a brand new body, and she is no longer ill. It was a hard climb that last mile up, but she made it to the top of the hill. Finally, I'm so happy to have her as a sister, one that is very dear to me. She no longer suffers in this life, but up in heaven, she is now free. We are so happy she is a part of the family. Now those 76 years seem like such a short while, but let me sum it all up and truly say, Dave, your dear wife Sandra is one sweet, beautiful cow. In loving memory of Sandra, January 26, 2013. This was just one such example of the poems that he wrote. He was a very, very, very special man, and I will miss him, but I know I will see him again. So I just wanted to share that poem with you. That was hard, you guys. That was hard. But I wanted to share it with you because I wanted to give you a glimpse into Uncle Don. And he touched so many. He was so special. He was so, so special. And you guys have seen my dad. And you know how special he is. And you know, compare that to, and add 2 more brothers to that. Every single one was just as special. We've now lost 2 of the 4 brothers. That is sad. So anyway, thank you guys. Thank you guys for giving me this gift of a week of grieving, and to You know, I'm not sure how many people out there would be so close to an uncle, you know, and there may be some people who don't understand the closeness of our family, you know. I hope you do. I hope this kind of gave you a glimpse into our family. I try to tell you a lot about our family, but hopefully that, you know, this poem even gave you a better glimpse. But let me pull up these questions. Sorry, I really just did come on to say thank you and to answer these 2 questions because they have been sitting. I am so sorry, you two. These have been sitting for like the day that I did my last video. I apologize, you guys, that I have not even come on to answer these questions, but I'm going to answer them today, okay? Dry my tears. I'm sorry. You know, and I am going to give myself tomorrow and maybe Monday to get back in the swing of things and to, you know, bring back my happy. I still have my happy, you know. It's just, you know, it hurts a little bit. I feel better now that we've had the celebration of life. I do, you know. Okay, number 1 is from Buffalo Check Chicks. Love seeing your scrapbooks and the video of Maverick. Too cute. Okay, maybe you've answered this question before, but wondering this. I love all foods, but some of my faves are Mexican, Chinese, and Italian. But only my Italian cooking. Not restaurant. LOL, I'm picky. What is your favorite food? Well, I'll tell you the truth. I love Italian, and I love my Italian too. But I also like restaurants, Italians. One particular one we have here in town who just makes wonderful. Everything they make is really, really good. So, and it's a mom and pop's place, not necessarily, you know, like Olive Garden or anything like that. It's a mom and pop's place that I think these recipes have been passed down through the generations, you know. Castillas, it's called Castillas here in town. And for those of you local. So, I love Italian. That's one of my favorites. I have to say pizza. If I have to say, pizza is my very favorite food in the whole wide world. And I just can't eat it because I just can't stop. You know, when I start, I just can't stop. Y'all know? So I try to avoid it at all costs. I've really been working hard on my diet. I really have. Although the church ladies made just the family, you know, a dinner yesterday, and I did have a little piece of blueberry cheesecake and a little piece of, it looked to be like Nacho Mama's banana pudding. I didn't make them, but she said, you got to have a piece of that. And I was like, yeah, Dad, I do. So Chris said, I'll get it. And he went and got it for me. And I did have that. So, but I'm not going to beat myself up. But I love Italian. I love seafood, but not seafood that tastes like seafood. I love crab legs. I love any kind of crab leg. Dungeness, blue crabs, king crabs. I like any crab cakes. I love crab cakes for sure. One of my favorites. I like shrimp. I like clams, but they need to be fried. Shrimp, not fried. I do not like fried. I like it, you know, in Old Bay. For those of you who don't know what Old Bay is, Google it. It's a great spice we have here on this coast, in this area. It's a wonderful seasoning that you put in with vinegar, and that's how we make our steamed shrimp. Fabulous. Some of my other favorite foods, I like a really good steak, although I don't eat red meat really at all, hardly ever, unless I have like a hamburger, you know, but I really don't eat like steaks and things like that. I stick with more chicken, tuna fish, you know, things like that. I love a really good baked potato, but it needs to have butter. And I'm not big on sour cream, but I like butter and salt and pepper. I'm not a big pepper eater, but I really like a lot of pepper on my baked potatoes, you know? Makes my mouth water thinking about that. So, and I do like Mexican, but I don't like it to be spicy hot to where my ears itch. And that sounds weird. Doesn't that sound weird? But sometimes my ears get to the point where I'm like, oh, I can't even, it's so hot, I can't even enjoy the taste of it, you know. But I like the taste of tacos. Tacos are some of my favorites. So Chinese is okay. I like Chinese. You mentioned Chinese. It's okay. Again, if it's not hot, I like, my favorite is sesame chicken. I really like sesame chicken, or I like General Tso's chicken. I don't know if that's how you General Tso's chicken. And spring rolls. I really like spring rolls. So, but yeah, I like a lot of food. Can't you tell? Although I'm trying, you guys, I really am. Okay, and my next question is from Jody's Cozy Cottage. And this is the one that I really wanted to answer because she asked a pretty good question here, and I wanted to explain. So this is from Jody's Cozy Cottage. Both of these questions are from new YouTubers, you guys. And I highly recommend that you go and check out their channels, Buffalo Check Chicks and Jody's Cozy Cottage. Both are lovely, two lovely ladies from Buffalo Check Chicks, Kathy and Marlene, and then Jody from Jody's Cozy Cottage. Totally, highly recommend both. Go check them out, give them a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, ring their bell, hit my subscribe button if you haven't yet. I'd appreciate that. This video is not a normal video of mine. I am mourning the loss of my uncle, as you all know. So anyway, and my brain is like bing, bang, bong and all over the place. Yikes. Okay, from Jody. Hi, Erlyn. I love seeing your scrapbooks. So fun. I hope your knee gets better. And it is. Thank you so much. I have a question. I know how you have been doing a wonderful job decorating on YouTube for years now. Yeah, we're closer to me being on YouTube 5 years than I am to 4 years. Yeah, I'll be 5 years in October. Well, about halfway through, 4.5 years. My question is how to change it up every season. How do you change it up every season? Do you buy new things or just arrange your decor in different ways? I'll keep that open because I'll go and check my studio. I don't think I have any questions, but to be honest with you, Jody, when I first started my YouTube, that's exactly what I did. I would go out and I would buy something to, like my Pioneer Woman stuff. I tried to use a lot that was in the house, but I did go out and buy a bunch of stuff for that, just to do that series. I did do that when I first started out, and I got to the point where it's like, I can't afford to do this. One, I couldn't afford it financially to do it. Two, I couldn't afford the space to put everything down there in my basement. And as you know, I've been purging and got it all done. It looks really nice down there, as you all saw. And my bunnies are going to be hopping away later in the week. I think Chris is going to help me get these bunnies put away. We've had a little something happen here. I know, I'm so late. I'm so late, you know? So anyway, but nowadays, Jody, I don't. Nowadays, I'm working on augmenting my blue and white decor. And each season, I buy something to add to the mix to bring in the blue and white for the season. For instance, I bought blue bunnies this time for Easter, blue and white bunnies. I was gifted, bless your hearts, some blue bunnies and so on and so forth like that. So I'm really working to augment the blue and white so that I can go all the way through the year with my basic blue and white decor, but then plug in Easter, plug in patriotic. I'm going to try that. Plug in, and patriotic, I may actually switch more things out than I did, a few things more on that side of the house than I did for Easter, just because I have some things I want to use. You know, I don't know. I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with that yet, but that's my goal, and that has saved me a ton of money, to be honest with you, because I really have not spent a copious amount of money. What I have spent my money on, though, sometimes are better accents, like better ribbon. Like I bought the blue and white ribbon that Bobby over there, Perpetual Ribbons, she offers the beautiful D. Stevens ribbon. I bought more of that, and that's expensive ribbon, but I didn't, because I wasn't spending so much on other accents, and because I use my paycheck that I get here on YouTube and I turn it right over into my channel, I'm able to, because I'm not buying so many accent pieces, I'm able to spend a little bit more on on some ribbon that is more expensive, or on, I'm looking at these bunnies, these pewter bunnies that I got here that sit on my dining room. I'm sitting in my dining room today. So there, what I did buy, I tried to buy a little bit more substantially, some nicer stuff, because I already have some nice things and I just want to add to that, So that's how I'm doing it now, Jody. I totally get what you're saying. It is hard. Very, 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 very hard to come up with content week in, week out, video in, video out. And it is difficult. I would be a fibber if I said it was easy. It is not an easy thing to do. That's why I've kind of been doing kind of a hodgepodge of videos now, because right now I'm not decorating at all. for two reasons. One, because Easter is over. I haven't even gotten Easter taken down. I've injured my knee, and which is better, but still, and we've had a death in the family. And, life happens sometimes. Life happens. And of course I would like to be able to switch everything out and redecorate for every season. But also, too, when I was doing that, I felt like I never was finished decorating. I never was finished. By the time I'd finish, I was ready to rip it down again and do the next thing. And I just couldn't keep up at that pace. It was just too much physically and emotionally and taxing on my brain, to do that. So that's why I've been trying to do the Q&As and to, bring these chit chats in with the decorating on my channel, just because I know I don't have enough decorating content right now. Especially when I'm in a series, the chit chat will lessen and the decorating will ramp up. When I'm not in a series of decorating, my chit chat will ramp up, but the decorating will ramp down a little bit. So I'm trying it this way this year. Since January, I've been trying it, and it seems to be working well. And I've gotten a lot of very positive feedback from you guys. So thank you for saying that you like the way I've been doing my videos. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate the feedback. Because, I'm sitting here and I don't get immediate feedback. I will not do lives, and y'all know why, and all of that. So the what you leave me in the comments is golden to me. It lets me know that I'm doing something that's pleasing to your eyes and your ears, So thank you for that. I still have not gotten over the knows, though, Who knows how many times I've said it in this video. It drives me bananas when I go to edit. Bananas, you guys. It really does. But try as I might, I don't hear myself when I'm sitting here talking. And I'm always one to say, don't say a lot of ums. Don't say a lot of ums. But don't say a lot of knows, Arlen. Take your own advice. Okay, I hope that answered your question, Jody, a little bit. It is hard. I understand. It's hard, hard, hard. It is, being a YouTube creator is not for the faint of heart. It absolutely is not. So let me go in here and see in my studio, make sure I'm almost positive I don't have any questions, but let me just check. I don't have any questions. So if you want to, or if you've been holding back questions and not asking me because of everything I've been putting up about Uncle Don and y'all knowing, or you're so precious. You all are so precious. Again, I cannot reiterate enough my sincere, humble thanks to you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are gems, every single one of you. Thank you so much. All right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and shut this out. This isn't 29 minutes, and I might cut it down because I was crying there a little bit at the beginning of the poem. So let me go into my final words, and I will be back next week. As I said, I'll give myself tomorrow at least off, possibly Monday. I'm not sure. And next thing I'll come back with will probably be either be the bunnies marching away and to answer whatever questions you ask, or it will be a patriotic haul that I got just from Amazon. I've not been in any stores. So, All right. So let me go into my final words and say, I hope that all is well with everyone. And for those of you who may be struggling or suffering with a catastrophic illness or chronic pain, I hope that you have someone there with you, taking care of you, helping you get through each day, making the very, very best out of each day. I hope there's nothing weighing on your minds or your hearts, pulling your attention away from where you want it to be or from where it should be. I love y'all to bits, to bits, to bits, hugs all around. And I keep you in my thoughts and my prayers every single day. And with all that said, I'll just say, until next time, y'all take good care. Bye-bye.